Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dream Career Talk Show. On this show, we bring industry experts from various domains who are able to share their knowledge, their experiences, their failures, and their success that can inspire others. Dream Career Talk Show is a part of my mission to help professionals to accelerate their career growth and build their dream careers. So, on this show, as we bring different industry experts, today we have an industry expert talking about one topic which is very critical and important. Like, we all know that every parent wants their kid to become a champion. However, many a times the focus is mostly on academics, marks, and other things. While focusing only on mathematics or science or any subject, parents tend to ignore many other aspects. Kids feel the pressure of exams, kids get compared with others, making them feel lesser about themselves. Every kid is unique and special. Every kid is a champion, however, he or she needs the right guidance to bring the champion out. Today's guest, Kala, has been working with various kids, including her own kid, to become a champion in both academics and life. Kala has been a teacher at heart throughout her life. She has been passionate about educating herself and others. She is the published author of the book MathMind Equals to Money. Kala's vision is that every child realizes their true potential and lives a rich, courageous, and happy life. Her mission is to equip 1 million children with the right essential education so that they have a rich, courageous, happy life true to their potential. Her motto is let's get the foundations right. Rest will be taken care of the kids themselves. Kala, I've been seeing your journey. It's been very inspiring, and especially the way you have worked on your kid and the way you are helping other kids. It's really inspiring to see that. So I'm glad to have you here on Dream Career Talk Show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Fatah. Thank you so much. I'm also so excited and happy to be on this Dream Career Talk Show. I've been following this talk show. Quite a few experts have been seeing, and it's so exciting to see that I myself am on this show. So I'm so happy for that, and thank you for this opportunity.
Great. Thank you for accepting and being here so that together we can add value in people's lives. So, Kala, before we talk about how you have been helping your kid and also other kids today, right, to become those champions, want to understand from you, how did you start this journey, right? Working with kids. Was this something you started from the beginning? Was this something you were passionate about? How did this journey begin for you?
Okay, I have been a teacher since the time I was a second standard child. That means to say, when I was in second standard, I used to teach first standard children. When I was in third standard, I used to teach first standard and second standard children. So teaching is something I wanted to do always. But then, as I myself was a topper in mathematics and science and everything, I got carried away into the stream of engineering and then software industry. Then I was working for 10 years in IBM and Danske IT and all. But then still nothing, nothing was striking a chord with me, I didn't want to progress there. My heart was somewhere else. So then I said, I have to switch my career. I have to get into teaching. So I did my MSc in mathematics so that I can get into a teaching career. Uh, and During that time itself, one very important thing happened is my son was born. My mother became ill, and at that time I was in still working. Though I was preparing for my MSc and everything like that, I was still working. My mother was a person who educated me despite various financial challenges. I'm the fourth child of her and a girl child. She needn't had spent so much time and money and sacrifice so much to educate me. And I also believe that education is something that will bring changes in our life. We were a lower middle class family. So I always believe that education will equip me for my life. I believed like that, and I used to study very well. I was a topper. When my mother became sick and she had to be taken care throughout say about a year, she had to be taken care after her bypass surgery and all. My elder brothers and sisters were taking care. At one point in time, they were not available. My elder brother had a commitment. My elder sister had a commitment, so it was finally left with me. I had to take care of her. But then what happened is, my son was also born, and I had taken a lot of leaves and work from homes and all. During that time, I had only one job, one source of income, and the situation was like, if I ask one more work from home or one more holiday, they might consider to send me out of the job. Okay, and that was a very terrifying thing for me. And one side my mother need to be taken care, and one side, if I do that thing, my job might be in risk. And I regret to say this, but then I chose to go to office. And my cousin sister took care of my mother and all. That was not a sad part. Only thing is, I didn't know that that particular week was the last week of my mother's life. And after that, she became suddenly very ill, and she passed away. That is when I realized, oh my god, if no, being a topper, being being in a job, I can be at the situation where I will be forced to not take a decision to take care of my mother. What kind of preparation has education given to me? What, where am I going? uh, have I really, I mean, have I really been equipped for life? Equipped for life? Because equipping for life means I should not have been afraid about leaving the job or anything like that. But I was afraid. I didn't have financial confidence, if you say. I didn't have financial confidence. I didn't know that if I leave the job also I can survive. I didn't know, because my income was very important for at that situation. And to this day, I feel sad that I couldn't take care of my mother, who sacrificed so much for me, just because I was not financially confident about getting another job or getting things. And sad to say that I was in a job that I didn't like much also, both the ways. So I was not doing what I love, and also even in that, like, no freedom at all. Financial confidence is not there, financial freedom is not there. And it's like, many people who are listening to you, who are connected with you on LinkedIn, or professionals, they would connect to this feeling that uh, they want to do certain thing in life, but they can't do because job is something is holding them back.
Right.
I wouldn't attribute this thing to the manager or the company, but the whole situation, right? They're not confident about doing something else and being better in life. I was not having, despite getting good marks. To this day, I feel bad that uh, I regret that I couldn't serve my mother. That is one major thing that pulled me into the doing something else in life. And the second thing is, there was a situation in my life when I came at a financial zero position. I was working in IBM, and I dance skate and all. I was earning lakhs of money as my annual income. Despite that, I don't know where all that money went off. I came to a zero position. No money at all. I had quit my job after that. After I quit my job, after few months, zero money. Why was it? Because I took very wrong financial decisions. I wouldn't say anybody cheated me, but I took wrong financial decisions because of financial illiteracy. I was a topper in mathematics, but I dealt with money so wrong way. When I came to that situation, what brought me back is the understanding about the mind, about the money. Till that time, I had only mastered mathematics in my life. Then later on, I started learning about the mind, about money, these two things. Then, just by managing my money, not even doing stock market investing, nothing like that, just by managing myself and my money, in 3 years, I was able to save up to accumulate up to 20 lakhs.
Wow.
Then I was like, oh my God, just this knowledge, that too from one book, just one knowledge from one book, that's all. Just that knowledge from that book and implementation of it had made me come to a situation where I can say financially confident. I can leave a job and can go on for at least few 2 3 years and do something else. That much financial confidence also I did not have when my mother was sick. Then I understood that it's all because of the gap of not giving this knowledge about the mind and about the money to children. And as it is, I was a very teacher at heart all throughout. Teaching was something, and children, raising children was something very very close to my heart. And so I thought I have to prepare children for their life. And I call this essential education because it is not some dance or music or something that is optional. One child will be good in dance, one child will be good in coding, one child will be good in something else. Those are all optional, depends on the child. But what I am talking about is something essential. Every child has to learn about these things. So then I said, just being a mathematics teacher is not sufficient, and I have to give this knowledge to children. Means first I'll have to coach parents about it, because they are the people who mold their children, and they are the people who have the strongest intention to make their children a champion. I approach schools and everything. Schools had their intention, they have their agenda and all those things. But then I felt, I myself being a parent, like how I am training my son, a parent will be the person who will have the strongest intention to make their child a champion, prepare them for life. Those kind of things only parents will have. Forget about teachers, forget about schools, they will not have. They just can give technical knowledge. So then that's when I started to start mentoring parents, giving them guidance about how to make their children excel in academics, of course, because I have been in academics field for long. Not only academics but also for life, because everybody has to deal with money, and everybody has to manage themselves, their mind. You know, those two things along with academics is what I do. So that's
Great.
what brought me to this journey of becoming a parenting coach specialized in education.
That's a very powerful and inspiring journey that you have had, right? Starting from being a topper in school, knowing mathematics very well, and being that champion in mathematics, to realizing that you don't know what actually where to apply mathematics or the money formulas or the money funda, how to save money, and going into the debts, not debts, going into the zero balance, right? And then also, even after working, not having that balance in life, not being able to give it to your family and all of it. I think that's something which I think most of them also color go through, because as you rightly mentioned, because of the commitments, because of the way they are trapped into something that they are doing which they don't love. So when you took this particular decision, right, how did the journey transition, right, from coming out from the corporate world to starting something of your own, right? Plus also, I'm sure like a lot of people would like to know the one book you mentioned that changed your life in terms of understanding money and following certain principles there.
Okay, the book name is Master Your Money, Master Your Life. That's the Master Your Money, Master Your Life. Uh, but I would like to mention here one thing. See, book is okay, but you need a mentor. Why? Um, until I met my mentors, I was just reading many books, never implementing it. My mentor, Dev Gadvi, used to, he tells us, right? He tells us, don't read a book, use a book. Just that one phrase, if we can take seriously, it'll make a lot of difference, a lot of changes. And I also want to mention here, I'm so happy to be talking to Fatah because he is also my mentor. And because of his, I would say, key inputs, I am on this journey. Otherwise I would have just been a mathematics teacher only. I would have taught mathematics, made children come out of math fear, enjoy mathematics. I would have done that thing surely, but really I wouldn't have made myself available to prepare them for life. That I would, again want to give gratitude to Fatah, because um,
Thank
I would like to tell that one question, Fatah, that you would ask me when you were mentoring me. Okay, so Fatah asked me this thing. Um, Tell me, Kala, where does your loyalty lie? Is it to the organization with which you're working and teaching mathematics, or does your loyalty lie with the parents and the children whom you're trying to serve? That one question shook me. Very slowly it shook. I didn't accept it in the beginning, but then it shook me and brought me to this position and made myself, equip myself more, and started giving all that knowledge that I was giving to my son to this world and the children in that world.
Thank you, Kala, for those kind words of yours, and thank you for being available to this world. Because I think, as the great people say, right, don't love your organization, love your work. So, and it's all about serving the right people, the parents, the kids who are actually looking to become those champions. So, you started this journey from there. You got a mentor in life. You realized things, and then you started working with kids. So, first thing is you did is you started working with your kids, right? So, what are the big challenges that you faced when you started working with your kid, and something that you want others to also like look as lessons from there, so that they can help their kids also to become the champions?
Okay. For children, many people keep telling me these concepts are all like how to teach children, right? Especially for money, or if I talk about spirituality, also I teach my son spirituality also. They struggle with the academics itself. Then how to teach all these things, right? And it's going to take a lot of time. But I'll tell you, it's not a lot of time. It will not take. It'll take only your commitment and regularly you have to do it. And what is it that you have to do with your child, you have to know. And the first challenge that I faced is my time. I didn't have time. Okay, I had to work, I had to earn, and I had to do all those things. If you see that, maximum to maximum, I used to have 1.5 hour with my son every day. That's all. Rest of the time, I have to manage at home, cook and prepare and things like that, and also and go to work, also travel. The maximum I used to get is 1.5 hour. In that 1.5 hour also I have to give him a bath and do all those things. So finally I was left with only 30 minutes a day. So in that 30 minutes, what is it that I have to do with my child? I, I learned it from many different mentors, many books and everything. And I had a plan, organized it and had a plan and executed it with my son. Like for example, children also don't have much time, but if we can plan and see what is very essential and give those essential things, essential skills, let's say communication, let's say about money, let's say about the mind. In mind also you have six mental faculties, right? So I used to focus on one of those things and keep talking about it, keep, what is the first thing I used to do? I myself used to learn it, and that day come and teach my son in a very, very simple fashion. And uh, people say that if you cannot simplify it and tell it and teach it to somebody, that means you have not understood it.
Right.
So reading from a book is a different thing, but simplifying it and making it easy for the child, that was a challenge there. But I'm very happy. Like, I don't know, I have that knack of it. So the second challenge was simplifying for children. And Many people think also that children can learn only from others, fun way only they can learn. That's not true. Children can learn from a very serious, in a serious, very serious manner also, and they can learn from parents also. Many parents think that they can't teach, no, somebody else only has to, do. uh, for them, I would like to tell that parents, especially mother, is the first tutor for the child. Let it be in anywhere in the world, mothers are the first tutors for their children, and the first tutor only puts the foundation. And thereby, I thought, like, if parents become equipped with this knowledge, they can give it to their children. And that's why I started to. And also, children can receive from parents very very easily, because they trust them very very much, they trust them. And if children are not trusting them, that means there's some problem in the connection between the parent and the child. So I understood from many parenting, my mentors also, I learned from them that how to build the connection with the child. So when you build a connection, and they can do that. So the challenges I faced is, didn't have time, but I resolved it by knowing what is very essential, and planning for that 30 minutes with my son. And the second thing is, children might not understand if it is not in a fun way and all. I used to include the fun thing also with my son, but very serious things also he can understand. I also realized that one. And the third thing is, I used to think that only somebody else can teach. Somebody else only has to teach all these things. Then I realized that no, I myself can do all that. And that's why, like, now, even academically also, I homeschool my son. So
Wow.
previously, I used to teach only life skills, and he used to go to school. Now I teach the even the academic part also. I've made him an independent learner. Uh, we can make our children in a certain way that they will learn in their own pace, but uh, become independent, become self-motivatedly self motivated people who will improve themselves in academics. We can generate that kind of a uh, lifelong motivation in children. We can do that.
Great. That's nice to know the kind of challenges you faced and so that people can avoid that. And what was the first step in this particular process, Kala? Was it like you spoke about helping child to learn about money, right mind, and everything? So, what was the first step in this? Because as a child, also, it at times is difficult for them to accept mother as a teacher, right? Or using that home environment to study. A lot of those things also come as a challenge. So, what was the first step that you implemented with your kid and that you are implementing with other kids that helps them to transition from one stage to the other?
Okay, the first and foremost is, we have to model for children. Means, children don't learn from what we say as much as what they see in us. Like, many parents come to me and ask how to, my child doesn't learn, doesn't sit and read the textbooks or something, or even any storybooks. Then I tell them, yeah, I can give you tips and tricks and everything, but all of that will not work if you don't model it. That means, if you are not reading books, then it is very difficult to make your child do that.
Right.
So in anything, the first step is the parent has to do certain thing. Like, some parents will come and say, my child is distracted with the all our mobile use and everything. Then I will say, you have to model it. The bitter truth is this, that if we are with the mobile all the time, then children will also be with the mobile all the time. We will not be able to correct them. So the first, let it be in removing distraction in my child. The first thing that I did is, if you see now, I don't have any notifications coming from my phone. It will not be there. Means, I learned from books and people and mentors how to become indistractable. For that, the book I follow, I learned Nadir Eyal's book called Indistractable. So I started following those principles of me myself not being distracted, and my son started seeing it and modeling it, and I used to teach him certain things, only little things, not many things, little things. And he used to, that little thing also has kept him away from mobile and gadgets and everything. And if you talk about reading, I used to read books, seeing that he also used to read books. And I used to do gratitude exercise and everything, and he started to do gratitude and everything. So the first step anybody has to do is model it. Model the behavior that we want in our children. Right? If we want our children to save money, then we have to model that behavior. If we want to, our children to learn from teachers and mentors, we also have to continuously learn. So parenting is a journey. Like, I would not say I've understood or known everything, but even today I learn from other parenting coaches and mentors. Even today I do that. So I keep learning. And I and the second, I would say, second step is, respect your child as if they are an adult. Give them that respect. Understand their individuality. If you understand that individuality and you respect them as an another individual, then automatically the way you behave with your child will change, and therefore they will also see, when they come to the age of teenage or something like that, they, because they've already been treated like another individual with mutual respect, they will start giving mutual respect at that time also. My son has not reached teenage now, but I'm very confident that he will give me that mutual respect when he comes to the age of teenage, because I have maintained like that with him. Looking at him as an individual, giving him that mutual respect, understanding that he is flawed at certain stages, but then he is a person who will keep on improving. That belief I have. So parents need to have that belief, because we ourselves are also improving, no? So that individual, that
Absolutely.
child also will improve. So
Absolutely.
that kind of a thing, that's the first step. Model what you want with your child, that you have to model first.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that, right? It's always said that don't teach but show, right? And you can show only what you are doing so that they can model you. And the other one was really powerful, very powerful one, what you said, like treat them as adults, individuals, so that that mutual respect is there and they can also like give that mutual respect to you when they grow up. So I think this is very powerful. So thanks for sharing that. And you have been working with a lot of kids around this as well. And one of the challenge with a lot of parents is the pressure that they put, right, comparing the kids with others. And so they, like we see in today's society, everywhere there is a comparison. We keep comparing. Like in our childhood, I remember again, like everyone, it's become common, right? Hey, see that person, see that kid, he's scoring this much, she's scoring that much. So that becomes a lot of pressure on the kids. So how do you actually coach parents to take care of this? Because of course, academics are also very important, but how do you take care that kids are becoming champions but they don't get into this pressure of comparison competition?
Okay. This secret I learned it when I was a student, and I from Bhagavad Gita actually. Okay. So from Bhagavad Gita it is, and it is a very thing that I used for myself also, and I used as a student, and now also I use for my son also. The thing is, see, it's very difficult for us not to compare. Even if forget about our children, we compare ourselves with others also. Our career and our thing also we compare. Our mind is built like that only. Our mind compares only. There's no escaping that fact. And if I say that I'm not comparing, I will be telling a lie. But we can just twist it a little bit. The sense that instead of comparing with others, compare with yesterday. So even today, when I tell my son, when I chastise my son for something, I say, last month you were able to finish this much, and this month you have not even done that. So I'm comparing him with himself.
Right.
That's much easier. and that's much universal, and that's much progressive way of doing it, because every person will keep improving in their life. If they are not improving in their life, that then there's some problem. They should be improving in their life, let it be a child, let it be a adult. So comparing we cannot avoid, because our mind is built like that. But instead of comparing with other children, compare your child with your previous version of your child. Last year you did this much, last month you did this much, whatever. So what happens? The child is like, okay, that was also me, and this was also my me. My parent is happy about that version of me, and parent is not happy about this version of me. Let me go back to that level. Then they will strive. And also the thing is like, if we are comparing with their previous self itself, they will understand that my parent is loving me only. If I'm comparing with some other child, no, the parent child will feel that, oh, my parent is like liking that child more than me. They will feel bad about it. But when you're comparing with the same child, the previous, oh, I have been like that, I can become again like that. So they will strive to do, and the love between the parent and the child also will be very, very, very strong because of that.
Absolutely. This is very powerful, whatever you shared, rather than comparing with others. Still, that comparison is there with all of us. So keep comparing, but compare with the previous version of ourselves or previous version of our kids with themselves so that they can keep growing. And I think one which you said also from the psychological point of view, kids realizing that, yes, my parents love me rather than the other kid whom they are always talking about and appreciating.
That's right.
That's really very powerful.
That's right.
And one thing with comparison is, yes, of course, as a parent, you are able to avoid that comparison at times and compare with the older versions. Kids have to go through that comparison at multiple places, especially when they go to school. Right? If you see today, also there is a lot of competition. Everyone wants the kid to come first, right? Especially in the schools as well. Like their friends are expecting, their teachers are expecting. So how do they actually handle this? Because in today's world we see competition of course is there, but collaboration is also something, as you grow you will have to have. So how do we make them more collaborative than competitive, which in our education system we see a lot?
Okay. This is something, the major reason that I pulled my son out of the school system. I homeschool him because of this competitive spirit that is there in school system. I was a person who was like winning all 17 to 18 prizes
Wow.
every year in my school. So you can understand how competitive I was. So uh, then after I came to workforce, I'm telling you, I did very bad. I never got hike. I never got those things. People, managers like me and all, but then it was very difficult for me to collaborate. I did not even understand what is collaboration. I was like, superficially, yeah, yeah, good, good, and yeah, yeah, good, good, you are doing good. But I know inside that I was not collaborating. I was not appreciating the other person. I knew it. But so that was one important reason for my setback in my life. Then I understood that how children, 15 years of training in competitiveness, how suddenly they can understand or implement collaboration. That's not possible. That's not possible. So, yeah, one thing that I can say to, this requires a mindset change from parents also. The thing is, I tell that if a child has to learn something, anything, let it be mathematics also, the best way and the effective way to learn is by teaching somebody.
Right.
So that is one of the principles I use in my math champion programs, which I conduct for children to make them champions, score above 95% and above. So what I tell the parents is the number one mantra to make your child confident is they have to teach to somebody. They've learned a concept, they have to teach somebody. If you cannot find friends, parents, you become the students. Children have to teach it to parents. Okay, so children have to teach it to parents. That is a compulsory activity I make them do. Then by teaching the concept, the children will falter in the beginning. Slowly their confidence levels, not slowly, actually fast track, their confidence will become very very high. And this way they will learn better, they'll become confident, and that's how I make them independent learners. Once a child become confident, they will be like, I know I can learn this subject. No, they will become like that, and with that attitude, when they approach a subject, they will become independent learners. That is my secret, I'm telling you. In my Math Champion program, the secret is this only. I involve the parent and the child, and I tell them, child has to teach to the parent. Okay, the other way you would have seen, like parent teaching how to do the sum. No, no, I said
Right.
child has to teach. Okay, so with this, they surely become independent learners. Now the same principle can be used even to beat this competition, in the sense that we can start first from at home, like the teaching to the parent. Thereby they become good in that topic, become confident, all those things happen. Now they've understood, we have to make children understand that by teaching they've understood that thing in depth. So we can encourage them to teach it to others,
Right.
teach it, teach, share it with others. Now they will say that she will get good marks. No, then I will tell my son will has this question, right? He has this question, if I teach that child will get good marks, then I'll say the child will get good marks, but because you have done the same problem two times, one for yourself and once while teaching, you will become much more faster in it, and therefore you are sure to get more marks than the child. Okay, that is one thing, and you have improved them also, right? Improved their things, their marks and things like that also. And the pressure, the see, the pressure part is something that we we will have to say our child is different. That's the only key mantra. Like our child is different and their child is different. And the one activity that I give parents to understand, I mean to come out of their pressure, their own pressure, is I make them list every day. I ask my parents whom I mentor, I ask them to list 5 things minimum good about that something that child did that day.
Wow.
Whatever the child has done. Okay, the child herself plaited her hair, the child parent has to write it or record it some way, but they have to make a note of it. So gradually what happens there the list of what the qualities they have, that the child has, increases. So when the bank of the qualities, the list is more, then I ask the parents, whenever you are feeling that somebody else is better than your child, open that book, or start listening to that audio recording that you yourself have recorded about your child. First of all, we have to create a bank like that. We have to create a list. For that, every day, minimum 5 things what your child has done well. There will be something. If you're not able to find that, that means the parent is in a very negative zone. So here, that is why I say I need to mentor parents. If parents are not able to list 5 things that the child has done good in that particular day, then this is a serious problem, because any individual would have done something good, 5 small things good in their life. So that's the best way to remove the pressure from yourself. When you know so many things your child is doing better, you will not have the tendency to compare with other children. And if you go by marks, as I told you, marks you have to compare with other not with other children, the previous version. And if you go for competitive exams, they test the child's ability only at that point in time. And
Right.
I will tell you, I was, I had done CET and all those things. Competitive exams doesn't define your child. This we have to understand, because uh, I can, because I've been in that position, I'm telling you. uh, After being a topper also, people can come to zero level. Example is me only. So it is not about being, getting that high mark. So I high marks, high marks in competitive exam or exams, they don't define your child. That's all. We have to remember that one. And this listing the five things that the child has done. These two things can remove the pressure from their parents' head. Now, for children's, sometimes I see that only children themselves also do it. Parents are not putting pressure. Child feels pressure because of the others are doing well.
Right.
For that again, modeling. If parents are finding good things in them and noting it down in the book, then next level is children are supposed to find out what is good in themselves. Okay, then when they do that, say that is the next level exercise. So when they do that, then children themselves will feel, oh, I am so good, I am so good at these things, then I don't have to compare myself with others. Then they'll also come out of the pressure. These are very simple, easy, implementable techniques. It just requires consistency of doing it. That's all.
I think very powerful again because I'm, I don't know, I'm going back into my childhood journey and I was able to see myself competitive exams scoring well, but still having that low self-image, right? And somebody, if they would have given me these tips, though they are very simple, life would have been different altogether for me as well. But of course, like today, together we are able to do it for a lot of other students and parents and people out there. So that is really good. So one of the things is we spoke about competition, we spoke about collaboration, school, parents, right? You spoke about how you are helping your child in terms of homeschooling, and today I think a lot of parents also are looking forward for homeschooling, which is helping them. But people keep talking about, hey, you are in a society, you need to be social, you need to have your child go to school, be with different students and all. So how do you take care of this element so that your child is not missing out on that aspect of life where he has to be still social and still be with people and still be in this competitive world altogether?
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing is I would like to try to give a different perception to all of this. Okay. I would like to give a situation to you. You are put in a room, okay, for around 6 hours in a day, and but you're not supposed to talk to anybody, and you are supposed to sit in a place you are told to sit. Do you think you will become a social being? What is happening to our children? They're going to a school, sitting 6 to 7 hours. Friends, whom they consider friends, are there beside them, but they can't talk. Then where is the social element coming in? Yes, children talk when they are playing with them in school, when they are traveling with to school along with the other children. But if you yourself are dropping your child to school and picking them up, that opportunity also is gone. So the only socializing aspect with you for your child with other children is only during the playtime, playtime or lunchtime. That will be how much? Maybe 30 to 45 minutes or maximum 1 hour, right? So that 1 hour of socializing element, I consciously give it to my child, in the sense that I take him to places like other activity classes, and some groups, and where there is like what to say, conscious effort to socialize, know people, and conscious effort to play freely. Nowadays what is happening, children go to school, coming back, and they're so tired, they can't go out to play. They don't want to, children themselves don't want to go out and play. Or they are, because if they are in high school or middle school, they are put into tuition. Okay,
Right.
so what is happening, they are not going out to play also. So the children who are going to school are having less time for socializing than children who are being homeschooled. That is my opinion. That is my experience. I'm telling. So So this being said, that 1 hour or 1.5 hour of socializing, I consciously give to my son in other formats, and take him out. Before, I have taken him out from school system for a different reason. The reason being that his level of learning was faster compared to what is happening in school. In Indian schools, they don't give, promotions, one double promotion, things like that, they don't give. And my child is a fast learner because I've been training him like that from before. So he used to getting bored. For all these reasons, I took him out of school system. But I know this is a great challenge. I Even now I have a great challenge about it, but I consciously try to solve it. Then I am in like homeschool groups, Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, and then we plan play dates and going to circus along with others, art clubs, then many different art communities and all we found around our this one area itself. So we do that, and my son runs a library. Okay, so he runs a library called Page Flippers, and whatever books he had, so he runs it, and children come to that. He goes and talks to parents, brings children to that library. He talks to them, teaches them, and we are also associated with ISKCON, and many children come there. So I make it a point to take him to that community where spirituality, teaching, Bhagavad Gita, playing with other children, doing service, all this is there. So I consciously go do all that. So children who go to school, they are so tired and they're so held up with so much tests and exams that they cannot afford to do all these other activities. It's very difficult for them. Yeah.
Right, right. I think that's a good perspective of how you see at things. And you spoke about your kid running this library, and I have heard this from you earlier as well. So, how did this concept come into play, and how did this actually happen, and how it is helping him and others, the library concept?
Okay. Why and how I started is because when I took up mentorship, right? Like
Mm.
mentoring from Fatah and mentoring from Dev Gadvi and all. Then I started to really think that what I can do more for life. See, till that time, I was doing math classes to earn my living. I love to do teaching mathematics. I used to do that, and I used to earn money for myself. Then my perspective got broadened, saying, what is my purpose of my life? What is it that I can do for the world? When that came into me, whatever I learn, I pass it on to my son. That's what I do. And I did it for many other children also. I used to ask my son and many other children, what is it that you can help the world? Many people like, what? What can a 9-year-old, 10-year-old do for the world? They'll be like that. Then I said, let them answer that question. I'm not a 9-year-old. Let him only answer. So I asked him, what is it that you can do? Then I gave him many examples. Like many child prodigies are there. Michaela Ulmer and many other children who are doing many things for the world. So, for example, that Michaela Ulmer, she saves honeybees. Okay, and she has a foundation for saving honeybees and taking the honey and doing lemonade. She has a $1 million business in US. So all those people, all those children are my inspiration and an inspiration to my son also. So what is it that you can do for this world? Then he started thinking, I will save, yeah, I will save animals, then I'll do this, then I'll do that. No. Okay, we thought about many things. Then I said, what is it that immediately you can do? What is it that you have with you that you can do? Then he said, I have a lot of books. Many children don't like to read only. His reason for starting a library is, many children don't like to study their textbooks because they don't have the love for reading. So
Right,
love for reading has to come in, storybooks has to be there, and I have a lot of storybooks, and there is no library in our area. In our
right,
area there is no library. So okay, I can do this. Then I said, see, I already have my business and many things to do. I cannot get involved. I'll give you guidance, that's all you have to do. He said, okay, okay, fine, no problem, I'll do. So that is his way of giving back. Whatever he has, he's giving back. And he
wow.
has knowledge about math strategy games and all. So he makes math strategy board games and sells them also. So whatever he has, with that, he can start using and implementing. And I don't do only this for my son alone. I do a program called Life Champion Program. In that program, I first resolve problems that the children are in, like they are not consistent in studying, they are distracted, or they're not confident, they don't manage their time well, they don't listen to parents. All these problems, if they're having all this, the various different kinds of problems, first we resolve that thing and make them consistent in academics, one thing. And but one more important thing that I do in the program is I talk with the parents and the child and come up with one thing that the child can do back to this world immediately in their childhood itself. Every child is different, every child has different resources and talents within them. So I try to identify that thing. Parents also will not be like identifying. They will not, believe in the potential of the child. I won't say, I don't say that parents don't love their children. But then one thing I realized after I took mentorship is I never thought I'd be an author of a book. Okay, I'll tell you seriously. I didn't think. But my mentors believed in me and they said, you can become an author. You have a powerful story. You have something very valuable to give to the world. They believed in me, and I took that belief and I became author. Just like that, parents will know their children, but I am very confident that they would require someone like me to tell that your child is much more able, much more ability they have to do and give back to this world. And I can identify that one and point it out to them, and children do that. And many of my students, many of my children of the life champion have done many things which is extraordinary compared to their peer group, their peer level. They have done something extra, something better, something back to the world they have done. And that is at their level, it is like, yeah, good. That's not compared to adults contribution, it might not be matching, but compared to children's level, it is surely a big great thing that they would have done.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really amazing the way you have been coaching students, because of course it's not academic skills. Academic skills, as you said, it's about one time, right? You go write the exam, you can get the marks anytime. Right. But it is all about the abilities, the capabilities that they are building, especially the fun way you are teaching students and your kid learning a lot of problem solving, right? Great. Setting up that library is solving a big problem in your particular locality, right? It can start with few kids, then it keeps spreading, right? So I think that's amazing the way you have been doing, and I would definitely recommend any parents who want to make their kids champions to reach out to Kala and start learning how to do that, because of course a mentor is very important in life, and if a mentor can come early in life, nothing like it, right? Because all of us, I'm sure most of them watching as well, can relate that we did not have that mentor in life. So for us, a lot of things were late in our life, right? Be it for me, be it for Kala, be it for a lot of people out there. So get a mentor in your life, get a mentor in your child's life that can help people. Right? So I think that is very important. Now, Kala, you also spoke about how even after working for 10 years or so in the IT industry, which is like a money making industry as well, you made good money, but you were not able to save because you did not understand financial literacy. You have been also teaching financial literacy to your kid and other kids. So how does this happen, and what are the results that your kid and others have started achieving by learning these things?
Okay. So when I talk about financial literacy to parents, the first two objections that I get, two objections, no, two different viewpoints I get is why children have to learn it now. When they start earning, they can learn. Why to learn now? And so I tell them, see, not every child is going to use sulfuric acid in their life, but they're learning about sulfuric acid because that's the basics of science, right? Just like that, we don't have to teach everything like stock market or the stock market or FD, RD, and all those things, crypto and all those things. We don't have to teach children, but we will teach the basics of everything that they will use in their life. And so that's why we have to give the basics of financial literacy to our children. What is money, how to make money, how to manage money. These three things I've explained in my book also, Math to the Power of Mind Equals Money. In that I've given very simple, no big gyan, nothing like that. only foundations, fundamentals of money for your child. That's all is there in that book. Okay, but that is very essential. That is, those are principles that are not going to change. Then the second thing that I get to hear from parents is they are like what to say like I just went off of my mind. um, yeah, what will they do even after learning? They can't use it now. Okay, they can't use it now because they're not earning now. And because of that, what's the use of learning now? Then I will say that yeah, they're not using it. Just like how we have practicals for science experiment, we have to have practicals for money management also. And parents think that because they've taught them children to save money, they've taught them to save money, that is the knowledge that they have to give. I
Right.
would say no, saving is not a thing.
I think
You are
that's what
connect.
we all have been taught, right? Have that small box and then keep putting that money or keep putting in certain place and then keep saving
True.
money, which does not help. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
saving money comes later. First they have to know to make money, no?
take money.
So, what is the point of learning mathematics when I didn't know to make money? See, for my take my example itself, I've been a topper. I know mathematics so much. I went to a job also, but did does it really mean I knew to make money? No, I went to a job. I did not make money, right? What my mentor Dev Gadri keeps teaching us is, you get money as much as the value you provide in the market, value you
Right.
give. So he keeps telling that thing. So when I learned all those things and my own personal experience and knowledge and everything, then I understood that children have to know to give value to people. Now my son is runs a library. He's giving value in some format. Whatever is not there in that particular area, he's giving, and because it is not there and he is giving it, it becomes a valuable thing. Correct. That's all. Value means that's all. What somebody else wants and you have, you give. You
Right.
give. That gives you money. So this is called earning money, actually making money. Now, if I ask children or many adults also, what's the way to make money? They will say that go into a job. And many children, many parents think that people can make money only after education.
Right.
No, no. Not anybody can make money even without education. I mean, even without formal conventional education. Like
Right.
say Henry Ford, he didn't go to school also. He's the most richest man during his time. How was that possible? Because he gave something to the world that the world did not have. The world did not have carriages or machines which will transport them without using animals. They didn't have, and he gave that to the world. What was not there in the world, he gave them that, and thereby he made a lot of money. So, making money, children have to know. Job is not the only way to make money. There are many ways that they can do and earn money. If children are just following the conventional education system, they don't at all think, they're just not able to think that they can earn money beyond the job. And now you ask me, Fatah, like many people ask me this question also. Like, you're making why? Even my elder brother asked me this. You're making him earn money now itself. He will lose interest in studies, no? He will get
Yeah,
into,
I think that's one
only
of the
earning.
biggest myth people have, right? That
Okay.
you see money, then you stop education, you stop other things. Mhm.
I'll tell you what happened. So now he understood that by running this library, he's getting the money and everything, right? So now he is in the education field, or that kind of. More and more, he is learning about books, like which book is good, what I will read. I will read this book so that I will know whether I should have it in my library or not. So he is reading more,
Right.
and now he is earning say 100 rupees or 200 rupees per month or something like that. Then he wants to increase, means he knows that he has to learn, because he is seeing me also. When I am doing my business, when I have to improve it, he sees I go to mentors, I take books, I do this, I read, I study, and I do all those things. I take webinars, how to run ads, and all those things. I keep learning. Thereby, my income is increasing. He's seeing that. Then he understands that by learning, you increase your level of income. So he he is more. That's what. Yeah, wouldn't children lose interest in studies when they have already learned how to make money with small things?
Do you
That's
want
what.
to answer this for Harshini? Yeah.
Yes, yes. So what happened with my son itself, I'll tell you. That's what I'm telling you. Like he started earning 100 rupees. The next thing is he wants to earn 200 rupees. Means he has to learn many other things also to run his library. He has to learn time management. He has to learn bookkeeping, right? He has to learn to talk to people, right? Communication he has to learn, and he also has to read many books to understand which book will fit in. He has to read those books so that he can guide the people to library. If a person comes and says, I want my child to read this very simple thing, very complex thing and all, he has to know those things in those books. And somebody comes and asks, I want to do a project, for my history project and all, because he has read those books, because he buys books, reads them, and keeps it in the library, he knows which book has what. So
Right.
he is learning also and he is doing also. If it is something else, let's say, for example, me also, right? For example, any software developer also, their income will increase only if they learn the next technology. If they're not learning, their income will not increase. So that is true for any individual at any point in their career. They have to keep learning, otherwise their income will not increase. So this point also we have to drive to our children, that they have to learn, they have to learn to increase their income. Thereby, they will be much more focused in learning. I'll give you one more example of one more student, uh, not my child. So that child started doing some small things in robotics and everything, for the house, like gate opening and closing kind of thing. And I understood that the child is good in that kind of a field and everything. Then the child wanted to build it for their own house, the gate management thing using some robotics thing. Then I identified this one and said, why don't you learn this next thing and all. And the child learned it, and for the reason that somebody else wanted a much sophisticated gate management, and there it was their relative only, nobody else. Okay, it was a relative only. And I have one more student in abroad. He was like learning, he has learned MS Excel, and his father runs a shop, and his father is not very literate in terms of MS Excel and all. Then I told that child, then I told that boy, you have learned this, why don't you offer this service to your father, bookkeeping service? And
Hmm.
you can also ask him that you will take a one time charge from him, that is your pocket money. And then he did it, and then he used the same money to in an academy, and learned the next level of MS Excel. The next.
Wow.
What about that money he got? Some few dollars, $10 something from his father. He put it back in an academy and he learned it and he did it. Then he said, "Now this is like I can do. I can do freelancing." Now US and all, it's like it's allowed at that time and things like that.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
he learned it more. They get more inclined to learn, but if you're expecting they will be inclined to learn social studies for that, I wouldn't say no. But think of it. Learning something usable skill, is that, will that prepare your child for life? Or getting marks alone in social, or in something geography and things like that. Of course, they have to learn all those things, but actually finally what will actually pay them, make them survive, make them excel in life, is the skills. And those skills, children will surely improve if they are having this motivation and direction also. In this, one more important benefit in this is, many parents are confused what their child will do in the future, means what career they will take. Like after finishing the 10th standard, they go to career counselors and try to figure out what the child should be learning or doing future.
Right.
But with doing this exercise, Many different things the child is trying, and child is not having any financial risk or anything like that. Child is learning, if it's Microsoft Excel, if it's robotics, if it is people management or skills, or no sales or anything like that, or in the education field, the child has tried different things. Now the child knows what is the field they have to go in. No career counselors are required at all at that time.
This is so beautiful and so powerful, Kala, right? Giving those beautiful examples of different case studies with your own mentees, and also talking about how important is it for people to acquire those right skills, especially for kids, so that we don't have to really look at, hey, career counselor coming with some tool and telling student, hey, you have to take mathematics, you go in science, you go in social, right? Rather than that, the child has already learned some great skills which he or she can not only apply during school days but also in life, and they can take their own decisions. I think this is beautiful and very powerful as well, whatever you have shared. And I think we can go on like this, but of course we have time restriction as well. So it's been wonderful having you on this show and sharing a lot of insights. But before we conclude, any message that you want to summarize and give it for parents, so that they can help their kids to become champions in life?
Okay, my message is only one thing. Okay, I say the name of my book, Math to the Power of Mind equals Money. I this math represents academics, mind represents a mindset, and money represents the prosperity that they will have in life. You just think and see, 2 to the power of 10, that is, your child is having very less academical knowledge also, math represent, but the power, the mind, is at the 10. So 2 to the power of 10 is 1024. That means that is the prosperity level. Now, if
Right.
your child is academically very good, but your mind, their mindset is not, mental faculties is not developed. Mental faculties means imagination, intuition, will, perception, reason, and memory. So these are not developed. Means what happens? The power remains two only. Child is very good, marks, everything is good. So 10 to the power of 2. 10 to the power of 2 means 100. The prosperity level that they will have in their life is 100, as compared to having the mindset is 10. 2 to the power of 10 is 1024. Now, why to give either this or that? Why just become Henry Ford, who didn't have academic knowledge, but he earned a lot of money? Why not become Steve Jobs or Bill Gates? They are earning much more than Henry Ford. How? Because they have their mindset as well as academical, technical, those knowledge also. So if it is 10 to the power of 10, the prosperity level that our children can have is 10 followed by, so 1 followed by 10 zeros. So that is the mission of my life. And if you are also looking for such a thing, Life Champion program is open for all such students and parents. Thank you so much.
Wow, this was a very powerful episode altogether, and at the end also the message that you gave, it was mind blowing. 10 to the power of 10. Why always look for R, or when you have and, right? You can actually make the combination of both and get beautiful results to help kids to become champions not only in academics but also in life. So thank you, Kala, for giving all those wonderful insights there. And thanks for everyone who have been watching us live and watching us going to watch us later on recording. I would highly recommend, if you are a parent, right, or even if you're not parent, you can pick this up for yourself as well. But if you are a parent, this is going to change the entire life of your kids and your own life as well. Pick up this book, an amazing book, Math to the Power of Mind is Equal to Money by Kala Kartyayani. This is available on Amazon. You can pick up from there. And also, if you are looking forward to put your child enroll into a program, not a program, I cannot even call it as a program, a life changing transformation journey, then do reach out to Kala. She is available on different social media channels, especially on Instagram. You can follow her. You can follow her on LinkedIn. She is connected on LinkedIn. She has her own YouTube channel. Do subscribe so that you can learn more from her. And that is how you can change the life of your kid and make them champions in their lives. So thank you, Kala. Thanks everyone for
Thank
watching
you
us.
so much, Fatah, and thank you so much for this wonderful platform. There's no limit to the gratitude I feel. Not only today because of talking to you, I feel gratitude every day because the more I have, and gratitude to all the people who are watching us, because if they are not there, what are we doing talking to each other? And so, thank
Right.
you to all of you who spent 1 hour of your precious time of your life with us. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you. Thank you, Fatah.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.